Is Sony planning to release a left-handed version of the very popular A74 and A7R5? Or is this some sort of elaborate planned April Fool's joke planned by Sony? Details coming up, but first, please do me a favor. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe, share, choose all notifications, like, comment, and all that good stuff. It's greatly appreciated, means an awful lot to me, and really does help this channel grow. Sony Alpha Rumours leaked images of a left-handed Sony A74 that you can see right here. According to Sony Alpha Rumours, they do not come from trusted sources, but a new source. The images he shared were actually from an alleged Sony presentation and show much more than I'm presenting here. And you got to admit, these look pretty good. So we've got one photo showing a box, and that box looks legitimate. Along with the camera, you can see it's definitely got that left-handed grip. And it really looks strange with that left-handed grip. It just seems kind of out of place. But that's not the only photo he's got to show us. The Sony A74 isn't the only camera to get the left-handed version. Here we go, we have the Sony A7L5 right next to the Sony A7R5. It's still an R camera, but it's a left-handed version of the R camera. I don't know, what do you think? Do you think this is some sort of planned elaborate Sony April Fool's joke? Or do you think they're actually planning a left-handed version of two very popular cameras, the Sony A7 IV that was released back in December of 2021, and it's been doing incredibly well throughout 2022. It's one of the top-selling cameras. Whether you look at B&H, whether you look at, I was going to say Kobayashi Maru, but that's from Star Trek. Yodobashi, if you look at their sales figures, you can always see that the Sony A7 IV is in the top 10, usually in the top 5. It's a well-performing camera. And the recently announced Sony A7R5, it's doing quite well as well. It's one of the more premium cameras. So both of these cameras to get a left-handed version, it's a little bit intriguing. Andrea, the brains behind Sony Alpha Rumours, did go ahead and say that he believed these leaked images, and has leaked in air quotes, may be showing just a joke being prepared for Sony for April the 1st. And if that's the case, kudos to Sony's. I really do hope this is an April Fool's joke, not because I don't like people who are left-handed. I know some people who are left-handed and they're mighty fine people. What I'm trying to get to here is for Sony, a rather large multinational corporation, to show that they have a sense of humor, to actually put effort into it instead of just putting out some sort of release or statement or news release. This is bold, this is impressive, and this is exciting. I seem to gravitate to people who have a sense of humor. I couldn't care less about a person's politics, but humor, well, that can be make or break. And Sony, well, you've just enamored me. Now I'm waiting to see if these are actually a planned event, or maybe somebody's spoofing Sony, and maybe somebody's come up with an idea to tease that Sony's doing this when it's not Sony at all. But the best possible scenario for me is that this is Sony's planned event. It's from a presentation. And lo and behold, on April the 1st, we're going to get a presentation released by Sony showing a brand new left-handed Sony A7 IV and A7R5. And, you know, I'm already smiling. Look at me. I mean, this is pretty cool. It's got me thinking of doing my own planned April 1st joke as well. So if you see something come out on April 1st by me, well, it could be an April Fool's joke. But yeah, I love this. I just love the way they're doing this. They're picking something that's getting us to sort of tilt our heads a little bit and go, hey, could that actually work? Is there enough demand? How many people are left-handed versus right-handed? Is it 1 in 10, 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000? I actually don't know the numbers. Actually, let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to go ahead and check on Google. Let's see what Google has to say. How many people are left-handed versus right-handed? And yes, there's probably a way better way to answer that question, a little bit more succinct, but I just woke up. So here we go. This is from a website. I can't quite read it with my glasses. It looks like it's .gov. They start off by saying, although the percentages varies worldwide, in Western countries, that's me, 85 to 95% of the people are right-handed and 10 to 15% of those people are left-handed. That's kind of an odd quote to make, isn't it? I mean, if, well, 85 to 90% are right-handed, then yes, the remainers must be left-handed, because last time I checked, we only have, well, 2 arms, 2 hands. I don't know anybody who has 3 arms and 3 hands. So yeah, if you're not left-handed, you're right-handed. Unless, of course, yeah, no, there's only 2 options. So either ways, so we're looking at a rather small minority, and in a shrinking camera market, is there really much of a demand for left-handed cameras? Is Sony just trying to grab more market share and increase it by even just 1 or 2 or 3%? They own currently about 27% of market share based on units being sold in 2022. 27% is a pretty big number. Now that's based on around, let's say, 5 million units. So a third of 5 million units, and maybe, let's say, at best 15% of that, well, that could generate some sales. But I like the idea that this is a joke. This is pretty cool. On April Fools, not everybody does an April Fool's joke because people take them awfully seriously. But last year, hats off to Gerald Undone for doing, what was it, the Sony Sonic? A special deal that Sony and Panasonic were working on a camera together. I really like that. And I love how he just presented it as a real story, but some of the specifications were exaggerated. And I think that's the key to humor, is throwing things out there that just don't make sense, that make people do, well, a head tilt. And yeah, I really do love that. And I know there are people out there that don't have a sense of humor for whatever reason it is. They just don't find things funny. But that's not me. And if you have a sense of humor, well, you know what? Maybe for you, I'll have something planned for April Fool's Day. Let me know in the comment section down below if you'd like me to do an April Fool's video. If so, I'll get working on it right away. But that's it for now. I think this has been a really, really fun. You know what, Andrea, thank you so much for bringing out this story today on a Thursday. I'm very much appreciated. Thank you for making me laugh. And hopefully for you sitting at home or in the office or on a bus, train, plane, wherever you are, hopefully this video brought some humor to you as well, or made you smile, because I think this is pretty cool. Anyhow, if you want to stay up to date on all the latest camera news and rumors, whether it be April Fool's jokes or not, well then go ahead and subscribe, but make sure you choose all notifications. And also make sure you check your junk and spam folder as well, because those notifications come in through email, and quite often these sorts of emails do get trapped by, well, your spam or junk folder filter. So the best thing to do in that case is just add a contact with the email address, and then you're covered. And if you want to stay up to date on all the minor news and rumors, well then follow me on Twitter. That's where I post all minor news and rumors, little things like this or big things like this, any sort of content that is news or rumors that really doesn't fit into, well, it's not big enough to have its own separate video. I'll post on Twitter, and sometimes we'll get up to 10 posts a day. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me this morning. This is a pretty cool story. I really do hope this is a faked Sony presentation, not a fake Sony presentation, but a real Sony presentation of a fake camera set up for April Fool's Day. And here we are, and what is it, March the 8th, 16th? I don't even know what day it is anymore. But yeah, March the 16th. So it's spring break. I have tomorrow off. I have today. Am I taking today off or not? I haven't decided. When it gets to 8 o'clock, I'm going to make that decision whether I'm clocking out or not. But thank you so much for watching and listening to my rant. And yeah, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon.